Well, hi there, it's Jennifer. Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you've come by. I have been documenting in a little tiny little series my experience of what it was like to finally attend a Tony Robbins event. I have been part of Unleash Her Power with Sage Robbins, and it all led up to the Unleash Her Power group of women for all of us to attend the seminar Unleash the Power with Tony Robbins. And today is my day 4 check-in. The conference has concluded. It is all done. And tomorrow I'm going to spend some time and especially I'm going to, sleep on it. I'm going to wake up, and then I'm going to do another video that will end this little mini series of my experience, my takeaways, and what I'm going to be doing going forward with the breakthroughs that I had. It's been amazing. All right here, look, it's all cleaned up. This is where it all happened. I had my tripod set up right here, plugins here, all my books spread out here, and I've cleaned it all up. But let me tell you about day 4. So Tony Robbins was not at the event today. So he is 67 years old and he has fried his vocal cords, and he has some kind of condition where his nerves like attached to a secondary vocal cord system. I don't even know what that means. I didn't even know that was something that can happen. So for day 1, he was there for 14 hours solid. And it was absolutely incredible. I have my hotel, I'm in a hotel, my hotel mug. And then he has to rest his voice. So then Saturday he wasn't at the event. And, Friday. So Thursday it was a full 14-hour day, solid, no breaks. I mean solid. So people had to eat, go out into they were in a stadium and had to go get their food and bring it back in. Thankfully I was in a hotel room and I did food prep. It was one of the best things I ever did. I brought bacon and eggs. I never had time to cook. Not at all. So I'm really glad that I did a lot of prepared foods. So that was on Thursday. That opened up the conference. And then Friday, of course, he has an entire team of people, people who are masters in their particular fields that all help run all of his events. And for this one specifically is called Unleash the Power Within. And then on Saturday, so day 3, Tony ran that entire day, and it's called Transformation Day. And I have to say, by far, that was such a powerful day. And that's what they said too. They're like, you wait till day 3, you wait till day 3, you are going to break through. So they really primed the pump in the first 2 days, and then you're ready to get real and go deep and actually figure out what's in you that needs to be transformed or what you need to add in. It was powerful, very emotional, a lot of tears, but a lot of release, a lot of healing. Amazing. So today, day 4, Tony was not there because he has to give his voice rest. But there is a wonderful gentleman. He's a life coach. His name is, and he's Australian. I can't even do an Australian accent. I love the Australian accent. I just found out that somebody in my YouTube channel who always leaves the sweetest comments is from Australia. I love that accent. I cannot duplicate it. But his name's Scott Harris. He's a life coach. He and another gentleman, Joseph McClendon III, who is 71 years old and looks maybe early 50s. Phenomenal guy, a neuropsychologist. So they ran the conference and emceed it and hosted it, and then also taught while Tony Robbins was not at the events that day. And then they brought in speakers. So today was really an amazing day. Each day has had its own unique vibe and purpose and energy. And today was no different. Today was really a focus on health, but that was more later on in the daytime. So in the morning, so Mr. Scott Harris, the Australian life coach, just a great personality. He led us in priming. And I talk about priming in I think yesterday's video. It's been these have been like 12 plus days and getting up early that I can't quite remember what days were what, but I've documented each day. And Tony Robbins, who really struggled to meditate, developed this, he calls it priming. And what it does is it just gets you in what he calls the right state. Basically, you think like the right state of mind. It gets you thinking positive. So this morning we started off the day with Mr. Scott Harris leading us in a priming ritual experience. And I cannot explain to you just how powerful it is. It is such an emotional experience. And I mean, I'm sure like not everybody cries during it. I don't think you have to cry. But I have found it to be so cathartic and so healing. And it has been a beautiful experience. That's something I'm going to be adding to my life on a regular basis. Tony Robbins suggests, he's like, just start priming 3 days a week. And then he even suggested you could do it every day for 21 days and just see how you'll transform. But you can find his priming. He has it on YouTube. It's like a 19-minute or a 15-minute video where he takes you right into priming. And what you learn is that you have, sometimes I think in life we can get caught up in the negative, and that can be the predominant thoughts that we have. This priming experience reminds you to go back in and find all of the beautiful aspects of your life, and that it'll just put you in this incredible state of gratitude. It's really hard to explain. You've got to go do it. Look up Tony Robbins priming, get alone, go do it, and then let me know what you think about it if you do it. Beautiful. It was so beautiful. And I love that. And that is a tool I want to implement. I'm 53 years old. As I continue to age, I want to keep my mindset right. Because I think like sometimes the longer you're on earth, the more life we live and the more that life happens to us. And it's just really easy to focus on the negative and focus on the negative about ourselves. Not necessarily like, oh, the world's gone to pot, but more like, I'm not this or I'm not that, or, we've all had just different things happen to us. I mean, life is difficult sometimes, and doing this priming experience allows you to tap in, like I said, to those beautiful parts of your life, and you can bring that forward, and it just gives you peace. It can just calm your spirit and put you in a right mindset to handle whatever it is that you need to handle. So that's how we started off the day. And that's probably one of my most favorite things I'm taking away. And I've got it all within me. I don't need to get it from any other external source. I have all of that actually within me. So that was beautiful. We started off the day that way. Oh, I think probably one of the highlights of the day, and I don't know if you've heard of this incredible lady. She has been all over the place. Her name is Kern Lima, and she just wrote a book called Worthy. If you don't know her, she created the It Cosmetics and sold it to L'Oreal for $1.2 billion in cash. And you can look her up online on YouTube. She does have a podcast now, but she has quite the story. She is the warmest, powerful Christian woman. I mean, like her love of God and her gratitude and her believing wholeheartedly in what God had put in her heart to do, to create makeup that could cover people who have, skin issues. And, she really struggled with rosacea, and she was on TV. And I don't want to, if you've never heard her story, I don't want to take away from it, because you've got to go hear her. She's been on Mel Robbins' podcast. You can find her story anywhere. She is such a beautiful soul, beautiful, beautiful speaker. Her just passion and love, and she shares the struggles and the trials that it took for her and her husband to build their company, and the no's and the no's and the no's and the no's and the no's, until finally L'Oreal bought out her company, like I said, for $1.2 billion in cash. And she became, L'Oreal made her the first woman CEO in 107 years. It was epic, and her talk by far was absolutely the highlight of the day, the heart of the day. Just a beautiful, beautiful person, and confident. And she just said, I have like, she's so amazing. I actually wrote that down. She's so amazing. Oh, and then she also, so she had tried to launch her product on QVC. The QVC were like, you're not a fit for us. Well, eventually QVC ended up partnering with her down the road, and they built like the biggest beauty, I don't know what she called it. It's not empire on QVC, but like something of that nature. But I like what she said too. She one of her things she said, she's like, I had God, grit, and grace. You couldn't help but just get really excited listening to her talk. So you've got to go look her up. So Jamie Kern, Kern, Lima, Lima. She was awesome. And then there were a whole bunch of other different speakers that came up and spoke about wealth. Mr. Joseph McClendon III, the neuropsychologist, did a lot on health today. The whole second half of the day was all on health. And he had us practicing this breathing technique, where he was like, you know, put your hand on your belly, and he's like, okay, now just like take a deep breath. And usually people like lift up their shoulders, like if you were to, you know, like breathe in deep and people lift up their shoulders. He's like, no, don't do that. He's like, actually, you want your stomach, when you take a deep breath in, you actually want your stomach to stick out, because you want your diaphragm to drop, so the lower part of your lungs fill with air, not just your upper part. And so he had us go through that, and he's like, flood your body with oxygen. It's so healing, so good for you. And he challenged us to do 3 sets of 10, 3 times a day, and like for like a 3-week challenge, basically. He talked about food, oils, exercise. Do you know what is a takeaway that I have taken away from this event? So it's very, very active, even for us Zoomers, like all the people, 119 countries, we're all around. And all around the globe, we're all on Zoom, but we're all on the stage. You see this like massive screen with all these little squares, and then they feature different people. I saw myself up there right in the middle at one point. I was like, where, and it was so cool. But they have this movement team that all throughout the conference, they start us off like in the morning. We are doing an aerobic. I mean, our arms up. We're doing all these things. And then throughout the day, and a lot of like woo woo cheering and clapping and like arm movements and dancing. And I was realizing I need to add that into my life. So I have a treadmill at home. I have an elliptical at home. I have some weights, but I had to have double carpal tunnel surgery done a little over a year ago, which then triggered trigger finger in 3 fingers in both hands. These guys just got operated on this year. It's 2024. If ever anybody watches this video a year from now. And, you know, so I've not been able to do a lot with my hands and my wrists. I usually just walk. I've started to do the elliptical more just for like the full body workout. I've got my celebration. Hold on. I've got my celebration, you know, after this 4-day conference, getting up at 2, getting up at 3, 12, 14 hours a day, giving it my all. I'm celebrating. Now you're back, so you're facing me, it's gonna be backwards. This is my favorite ice cream. It's the chocolate eclair, and it's Blue Bunny. I couldn't remember who made this. There is a star, so I can't have a lot of sugar all the time. Very rare can I have sugar. Every once in a while I have a treat, and this is treat night. But there is this Starbucks cookie crumble drink that has been out just recently, and it's amazing. I've only had 2 over however many weeks it's been out because it's a lot of sugar. It tastes just like these chocolate clears. I went to the hotel because what I just hit was I got decaf coffee. So I'm gonna have some decaf coffee. I got this Boom Chicka, it's backwards, so sorry guys. This sweet salted popcorn. This, I'm gonna go put it in the freezer really quick. This is gonna be the absolute bomb. So I am also celebrating that I've attended my first Tony Robbins Zoom event, event, I want to call it a concert. And it's amazing, so I'm gonna celebrate recording this video. Let's see, was there anything else? I had taken a whole bunch of other notes. Oh, there was this gentleman that came out and they had a whole bunch of different doctors today talking about all kinds of health stuff. But Doug Evans, this guy, I guess at 13 years old, he was raised in New York. He was on the streets at 13. His father was really abusive. And he pretty much just ran the streets. He got arrested, he said, 12 times before the age of 17. Ended up joining the Army, becoming 82nd Airborne. I hope I'm saying that right, 82nd Airborne. He's written a book called The Sprout Book. Like where you can make sprouts like it is supposed to be really healthy and nutritious for you, and you could do it at home and you get a lot of nutrients. That's another thing that I took away from the health challenge was so Mr. Joseph McClendon, he was saying that you should have like a superfood like greens. He talked about like alkaline in the body, but that the importance of drinking celery juice. I don't have a juicer. I've always wanted to juice, but then it also seems like a lot of work. But he was saying that celery juice, even if you just start with 4 ounces a day, he's like 4, 8, 12 is great, 16 is awesome. That celery juice is supposed to be really, really good for your body. Also lemon juice in water in the morning, really good for your body. But he talked about getting like a superfoods blend, a green superfoods blend. So that's something I'm going to look into. Oh, did I finish talking about the movements? Did I get to, was I talking about it and then I hit this and I got distracted? My brain, to be fair, is a little fried after this whole experience. Oh, but back to the movement. It was so much fun doing all the dancing. And that's our whole thing, is like doing these things that really lift your energy, and movement is one of them. I'm gonna look on YouTube. Now I'm about to have surgery in just a few days, so I'm gonna have to wait to recover before I can like really get back into doing stuff. But I'm gonna look for like some aerobics videos, like dance aerobics. It was so much fun just for like the uplift. It was great. I loved it. And I'm like, I'm a little sore. And it's like, I use the elliptical, I work out, I walk, you know, and I'm like, my shoulders are sore, but it was really, really, so that was amazing. So that was day 4. I didn't know if we were going to see Tony and Sage Robbins at all in the evening. Oh, but the way that they ended the event was they brought out a gentleman called, I don't know if he was Filipino or Korean, now that I come to think about it, Master Co. C-O. Master Co. This is the first time I've seen or heard of him. And he does a lot with like body energy and meditation and healing. So they brought him out at the end and he was really fantastic to listen to. He led us all in this incredible meditation. It's like nothing I've ever done before. And it was really powerful and really beautiful and really calming. Master Co. C-O. And yeah, he was really fantastic. So that's been another thing about this conference, is just learning about people that I had not heard about, but people who are masters in their field, basically. And that's what Tony Robbins is really big about, is learning from masters. And so that was day 4. And I'm gonna go make some decaf coffee. I'm gonna crack into this. This popcorn is addictive if you've never had the Boom Chicka Pop. And then my chocolate eclair ice cream, but I am gonna take my anti-glucose spike pills just to help the glucose spike not go too crazy. But anyway, I will see you in the next video, the final video in this experience, where I just kind of wrap up and take my takeaways from the whole experience. So see you then. Bye.